Generally speaking, a recession is a significant decline in economic activity that's widespread and lasts for more than several months. That's the textbook definition of what a recession is. In a practical sense, many people define a recession as back-to-back declines in what's called gross domestic product, which is the broadest measure of economic activity that people generally look at. Now, in a practical sense, that also typically means that employment will slow, consumption will slow, and general activity really across the economy will slow. Throughout history, it's always been a series of shocks or negative events that have sort of combined to create this downturn in economic activity that we see. So for example, the COVID recession that we most recently endured, causes for that were obvious. Prior to that, it was a housing bubble. Some folks who are listening probably remember living through that. That was the cause of our second to last recession. And the current recession, if that's what this ends up being, will have been caused by inflation, and more specifically, the Federal Reserve's response to that inflation as they work to get that under control. So let's talk about how markets typically behave in a recession. So the good news is that markets tend to anticipate big changes in the economic environment before they actually occur. We found that that was true on the upside as well as the downside. So for example, markets tend to peak long before the economic cycle peaks, several months in fact, on the way in. On the way out of a recession, the same is also true, that markets tend to anticipate a big recovery in the economy before it begins to happen. In fact, markets tend to bottom between 3 to 6 months before a recession actually ends. The thing about recessions is every single recession is different. The causes are different, the effects are different, and the duration is different. But our research has shown that typically in the modern era, recessions tend to last anywhere from 10 to 12 months, on average probably around 11 months. And that's actually shorter than they've been in the past. And we think part of the reason for that has a lot to do with the policy response. So as our economy has matured, as it's become more modern, policy makers have become very good at addressing these things. And the Federal Reserve, chief among them, has plenty of tools to manage the economy through difficult periods.